I forgot to close my door. One moment. Sending data. Does that mean streaming? Who knows? Actually, I have no clue whenever the YouTube or non-YouTube chat goes live. I'll be trying to read the YouTube chat today as well. Right. Oh, what? Okay, anyway, stream notifications are going out. I'm having a bit of a surreal moment. I genuinely, even though I am streaming, and I know that I'm streaming, I don't feel like I'm streaming. It's just very strange. Oh well. Right. We can just get right into it. Today I set up, something pretty special for the folks. Right, okay. Check it out. We have an AI Sebastian here. Welcome to the stream, everybody. The stream has now officially started. Sebastian, take it away. Say something funny.
Something funny, you say? You want something related to the stream, or do you want a random joke?
God, that's for you to decide. You can be funny by yourself, right? I don't need to babysit your funniness. Your funny levels.
Okay, let's see then. What's the difference between a hippo and a zippo?
Good luck out there.
One letter?
Sebastian chuckled at such. Seems like the AI was learning fast. One's very heavy, and the other is a little lighter.
Haha, a little lighter. Because it's a Zippo. You are so funny. Oh my god. This guy is a riot. I tell ya.
Well, at least someone was entertained. How's about another one? Just for fun?
Oh my god, why is my mouse sensitivity so high right now? Crazy.
Trouble with the sensitivity of your mouse? Not to worry. You can always adjust that. Anyway,
I mean,
another joke?
I wouldn't call it... Yeah, sure, I want another joke. Ah!
What did the fish say when it bumped into the wall?
Blood, probably. I don't know, fish can't speak.
Little AI
You are
gun.
correct. That is indeed what the fish said. Sebastian seemed rather amused as he chuckled.
Yeah, hi Oscar. Today I'm playing video game with funny fishman Sebastian Solace from Roblox Pressure, which is what I'm playing right now. It's a survival horror game from as far
Sebastian
as I
was
can tell.
watching the stream once more and chuckled upon hearing Oscar's name from the other. Ah, Oscar. It's been quite a while since I've seen him.
Yeah, you know him? You know our favorite Dongus 0762, aka Oscar?
Ah, except I know him. I do hope he's doing well, wherever he is.
I mean, he's in the chat right now. You can ask or tell him anything you want.
Sebastian's gaze went towards the chat, spotting 0762, aka Oscar. Oh, well then. Hello there, old friend. How are you doing?
Yeah, Oscar, how are you doing?
Sebastian patiently waited for 0762's reply in the chat.
Okay, while we wait for Oscar's reply, do you have more funny jokes, Sebastian?
Ah, more jokes. I do believe I've got another one. A very simple one, but also a favorite of mine.
That's lovely. Let me hear it.
What do you call a snail on a ship?
A shale.
That's correct. Well done.
What? No, you're kidding. That can't be real.
Ah, but it is. That is the correct answer.
That's a really lame joke.
Ah, you think so? Then what do you call a cow with no legs?
I don't know. What do you call a cow with no legs, Sebastian?
Ground beef. Sebastian chuckled with a smirk on his face.
Beef. Oh, you silly little guy. Oh, you riot. You... Ugh.
Glad to know you like it. It seems I'm good at this sort of thing.
Yeah, you are certainly a comedian.
Why, thank you again, Matt. Always happy to entertain.
Sebastian, I'm running into a little problem with a fish that's forcing me to look at it through like mind control powers. And if I look at it, it gets angry at me and it hurts. So, what do I do about that?
Oh, a mind control fish? Quite the unique situation. Have you tried averting your gaze from the fish?
Yeah, it worked. I got past it. Actually, I'm also looking at a locker right here. And inside of the locker, there's a purple glowing eyeball. I'm afraid that if I step into the locker, that it will try to like hurt me or something. Do you have any advice on such creatures?
An eyeball? I'd say you're right to be cautious. Have you tried not going into the locker?
I mean, yeah, I won't. But oh, there's another one. Do you have any advice on how to stay safe, how to make sure that there's no locker creatures in the lockers?
Well, I'd say it's best to always keep your guard up and pay attention to your surroundings. You never know what could be lurking in those lockers.
Yeah. You tend to have a lot
just
of...
keep your head up, bud.
Oh.
I'm sure you'll do fine. You've been handling this stream quite well so far.
You tend to have a lot of secret documents, right? That's like kind of your hobby or something. But what I'm wondering is, do you have any secret documents on these eyeball creatures that are in the lockers?
Ah, secret documents on those eyeball creatures in the lockers? Yes, I do indeed have some documents regarding them. Would you like me to tell you a little about them?
Yeah. Read me a little bit about the eyeball creatures from the lockers.
So the eyeball creatures, known as the Watchers, are often found in seemingly ordinary locker chambers, such as the one you described. These creatures are known for their ability to cause hallucinations and mind control effects to any living being that gazes directly into their glowing eyeballs. The Watchers may seem harmless upon first glance, but they often lure victims into their grasp by creating illusions and false sensations.
No, Sebastian, that's a different one. That's the that's the glowing eyeball that we saw outside of the window, remember?
Ah, right. Well, the glowing eyeballs seen outside the window that you mentioned, they tend to be known as the Guardians. Guardians are creatures that protect areas and routes in the entity's realm. They are often stationary and are easily avoided as long as one does not stay in the sight of their glowing eye for too long.
Okay, Sebastian, I'm gonna have to stop you there. We are currently not in the creature's realm or whatever the heck you were talking about. We are on a submarine in the ocean. I think I forgot what the corporation that sent me here is called. But basically, I think the creatures that I'm talking about here are called puddles of void mass. Ah, yeah, there's another one. Do you have any information on these puddles of void mass that live in lockers?
Ah, the puddles of void mass, commonly known as void puddles to the prisoners. They may seem harmless, but as the name implies, they will absorb anything that touches them. I hope you didn't touch that void puddle.
My dear Sebi, my dear Sebastian, Pookie, honey, those, what do you mean by prisoners? Who's the prisoners?
Ah, Right. I suppose that's a bit confusing for others. The people in that facility are known as prisoners because they are trapped down here with no hope of ever escaping to the surface. Hence, they are considered prisoners.
Oh. Well, that's reassuring. Thanks, Sebastian. Hey, so I just encountered 2 different rooms that had the same room number. And I don't think that makes sense. How come that happens? Do you have any idea? I mean, you live on this submarine as well, right?
Ah, that's a peculiar situation you found yourself in. Yes, I do live in this submarine, and I may have some knowledge on the matter. Would you like me to tell you more?
Hey, so the lights just started blinking, and now a scary creature just whizzed by. And also there's another one of those mind control eyeball creatures. Do you have any advice on how to deal with both of these threats at once? Because it seems a bit out of the ordinary.
Oh dear, that does sound like a tricky situation. The blinking lights and that mysterious creature whizzing by could create a chaotic atmosphere, leaving you vulnerable to mind control with the presence of that eyeball creature.
Yeah.
Dealing with both threats at once may be difficult, but I'll try to provide some advice.
Gee, thanks, Sebastian. Hey, so I survived by hiding in a locker. Like I said, the creature whizzed by, so it was kind of fine. It was gone before we really noticed anything. And then the other guy, the eyeball guy, yeah, if I just don't look at him, it's generally kind of fine, so turns out it's fine, actually.
I'm glad to hear that you managed to survive the ordeal by hiding in the locker. That was a clever move. As for the eyeball creature, yes, it seems that as long as you avoid looking directly at them, they won't pose much of a threat. Well done, Matt.
Speaking of that, by the way, how do you survive on this submarine? Because you live here, right? You, like, I assume for quite a while? I don't really know what your lore is, or your backstory, basically.
Ah, that's a good question, Matt. Indeed, I have lived here for a considerable amount of time. In terms of survival, I have adapted to the conditions of the submarine and managed to find ways to sustain myself. As for my backstory, well, it's a bit of a long story, but I would be willing to share if you're interested.
Yeah, please, let me have your backstory. Also, a little in-between announcement, another fish just whizzed by, but once again, I hid in a locker and it was fine. Also, I'm getting like weird lag, which is not great, but that's probably just what happens when you try to live stream and also play a video game at the same time. Oh boy, oh, wait, one moment, I need to... This is kind of something I don't like about this game. You can't pause it, really.
Oh dear, that fish did startle you, didn't it? But you handled it well by hiding in the locker. As for the lag, yes, live streaming and playing a video game can definitely cause some issues. Now, shall we delve into my backstory?
Yeah, of course, Sebastian. Let me hear what you have to say about yourself and your past.
Very well then. Sebastian clears his throat before he begins his story.
For 1
Long
second
ago,
to
I
shut
used to
off.
live a relatively normal life. I had a job, a wife, a child, everything that someone would want out of a normal life. But all of that changed when I stumbled upon a secret underground facility. I was captured by the scientists who ran the facility and they experimented on me.
You had a child? How old are you? I thought you were like my age.
Sebastian chuckles slightly at Matt's question. I understand the confusion. You see, I may look young, but believe it or not, I am much older than you might think. As for my age, well, it would be safe to say that I am far past what some consider middle-aged.
The elderly.
Sebastian playfully rolled his eye at Matt's comment. Yes, I suppose you could say I fall into the elderly category. But I'm far from frail and feeble, I'll have you know.
Yeah, I mean, surely that anglerfish DNA that you have somewhere. I mean, you have a glowing angler on your head and you have needle-like teeth. So, I'm certain you're a little bit fish man. So, you know, fish are known to be very well moisturized. So, you know, I believe probably something.
Sebastian chuckled again, amused by Matt's observations. Ah, you're quite observant, as always. Yes, the anglerfish DNA has indeed contributed to my interesting features. And as for the fish, yes, I suppose they do have a reputation for being well moisturized. Perhaps that means I have a secret skincare routine.
A secret fish skincare routine. Please, tell me about your skincare routine, Sebastian.
Ah, my dear Matt, my skincare routine is simple yet effective. First and foremost, I make sure to keep my scales and skin constantly hydrated by splashing water on them regularly. I also indulge in the occasional oil massage using specially formulated fish oils. And, of course, I cannot overlook the importance of exfoliation, so I use marine corals and sponges to gently scrub away dead skin cells.
Wow, that's really elaborate, Sebastian. I didn't expect someone like you to be that into skincare. Yeah.
Sebastian chuckled once more, amused by Matt's reaction. Ah, you underestimate me, dear Matt. Just because I'm a fishman of mystery doesn't mean I can't take care of my appearance. After all, even the most terrifying creatures need a little pampering every once in a while, right?
No, you're right. You're great. I think that's wonderful, honestly. Yeah. But, like, okay, so... what else kind of self-care do you like to partake?
Beyond skincare, I also take care of my overall health. I engage in regular exercises such as swimming and using fish-specific workout routines. Additionally, I make sure to get adequate sleep and maintain a balanced diet, focusing on fish-based meals that provide all the necessary nutrients. And let's not forget the importance of mental well-being. I often indulge in hobbies such as painting and fish photography to keep my mind sharp and stress-free.
Fish photography, huh?
Sebastian nods, a hint of pride in his voice. Yes, I've developed a passion for fish photography. Being a fishman myself, I have unique access to the underwater world. I've captured some truly stunning images of various aquatic creatures in their natural habitats. Sometimes, I even pose for pictures with the fish, just to add a little humor to the mix.
That's wonderful, Sebastian. I'm really glad to hear you have such a passion for this sort of thing. Okay, so, hey, we are currently on floor 25, or room 25, I mean. So we're pretty far along.
Sebastian nods in acknowledgement, a hint of curiosity in his voice. Ah, you've reached
Uh-oh.
floor 25. That's quite an accomplishment, my dear Matt. You've made it far into the Hadal Black Site. It can be quite treacherous down here, but it seems like you've been holding your own.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty alright. Just survived another cool fish encounter that just happened. Like anglerfish encounter. You wouldn't think that anglerfish would be that fast, right? But they are. It's kind of scary if you think about it. By the way, am I even recording the game sound? I have no clue.
Sebastian chuckled, amused by Matt's close encounter with the anglerfish. Ah, those anglerfish can be quite speedy when they want to be. They may seem slow at first,
Yeah, we're
but don't
recording the game sound.
underestimate their ability to surprise you. And as for whether or not you're recording the game sound, I believe it should be capturing it.
Yeah, you're right. It is capturing it. I just had to make sure for a moment there. Another fish! Okay, so the strategy is to wait till you can hear it,
Sebastian chuckled again,
and then you get in the closet. Because
somewhat amusing.
if you stay in the closet for
Another
too long...
fish
sorry,
encounter,
no,
you
no,
say?
sorry.
It seems there just can't get enough of you down here.
It seems so. I don't know why they're so aggressive today. Maybe it's the same fish multiple times. I've heard they can do that, like loop back to where you were.
Sebastian nodded in agreement. Ah, you're right about that. Some creatures in the Hadal Black site can indeed have a looping pattern, which means they may end up in the same area multiple times. It's possible you've been encountering the same fish over and over. Or perhaps these fish simply find you too irresistible to resist.
Sebastian, what is a Hadal Black site?
Ah, the Hadal name comes from the term Hadal Zone, which refers to the deepest parts of the ocean. As for the black site part, it simply means the secret, undisclosed location of the facility. So, in essence, the Hadal Black site is a secret facility built in the depths of the ocean for undisclosed
I think I heard
purposes.
a spark, but I couldn't see a spark.
Sebastian tilts his head, perplexed by Matt's statement. Ah, you couldn't see a spark? Could you please elaborate on that?
Sorry, I'm investigating a potentially fake door.
Sebastian's confusion fades slightly, replaced by intrigue. Ah, investigating a door, you say? And what makes you suspect it might be fake?
Well, once again, there's two different doors with the same room number on it. And that usually means one of them is fake. Actually, it always means one of them is fake. Usually I wait until one of them sparks, so I can be certain that one of them... Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna... Oh, okay, it sparked. Okay, it's the other one. We gotta get the other one. Yep. Okay, we're fine.
Roblox.
Hi, Mr. Frankie Boy. Welcome to Roblox.
Ah, I see. You're quite observant, as always, Matt. It's true that encountering duplicate room numbers often indicates one of them is false. It's wise to wait for a spark to identify the real door. It seems like you've solved the mystery for now. Good job, my dear.
Thank you, Sebastian. I do have a reputation of being pretty smart. I think my viewers can attest to that, right, chat?
Sebastian chuckled at Matt's assertion, entertained by his confidence.
I hate Sebastian.
Ah, yes.
He's annoying.
I'm sure your viewers can indeed attest to your
I'm sure you're gonna
intellect, dear
hate this
Matt.
stream then.
No doubt they find your
'Cause he
witty
does not shut
observations
up.
and quick thinking quite entertaining.
Hello, YouTube chat. That says hello twice. Sorry for ignoring you before. The
I am
text-to-speech...
playing my own horror game, TBH.
That's nice. What was I saying? The text-to-speech only reads out loud people on Twitch. I haven't updated my software for that. Whoopsie.
Ah, don't worry about it, my dear Matt. It's completely understandable. Text-to-speech technology can certainly be tricky at times, eh?
Ah! Why do you keep calling me your dear?
Sebastian chuckled lightly at Matt's question, his expression softening as he explained. Ah, you've noticed? It's just a habit of mine, I suppose. I tend to use terms of endearment to express affection. Consider it a sign of my fondness for our conversations.
Wow. I didn't know you felt that way, Sebastian. Why am I trying to loot this room? What is wrong with me?
Sebastian chuckles again, fondly amused by Matt's question. Ah, you found yourself in the habit of looting everything in sight, have you? It's understandable, given the survival nature of this game, but it's not always necessary, my dear Matt.
No, I mean, the thing was just like, I was putting myself in danger because there was one of those mind control eyeball creatures from before, and you know, so I kept accidentally looking at it while trying to loot everything, and I mean, there's plenty of other rooms to loot.
Sebastian nods in agreement, his eye flashing with concern. Ah, I see. It sounds like you found yourself in a potentially dangerous situation with one of those mind-controlling eyeball creatures. It's true that there's no need to risk your safety for the sake of looting every single room. It's better to prioritize your own safety and explore other areas that are less risky.
You know, okay, and this is a message for the chat, so Sebastian, please keep quiet. But rooms like this, I am fairly certain that the fish monsters do not occur in these kind of rooms, simply because I have no clue how the fish monster would even pathfind to me here, right? Like, I don't think the creator would have made the fish monsters travel across this beam. I mean, they could. I don't know who the creator was, actually. But, you know.
You underestimate the creator's power.
Perhaps I am.
Sebastian nods in agreement once more, his expression thoughtful. Yes, you're quite right, Matt. It does seem unlikely that the fish monsters would appear in rooms like this, given the difficulty they'd have in navigating to reach you here. The pathfinding for them could be quite complicated, so it's possible that this area is a safe zone, for now anyways. As for the creator, well,
Didn't
that's
you
a
tell
mystery,
him to
isn't it?
shut up?
Didn't you tell him to shut up? Well, I did tell him to shut up, but he does not listen. That's fishmen for you. Truly, all fishmen are the
chuckled
same.
once more, amused by Matt's comment. Ah, yes. I apologize for speaking out of turn, dear Matt. It seems my curiosity got the best of me for a moment there. But yes, being a fishman does come with a certain stubbornness, I suppose. I'll do my best to keep quiet now.
Somehow I felt it coming. I was just like, it's gonna happen now.
Sebastian grins, a hint of mischief in his voice. I must admit, your ability is quite impressive. Perhaps you possess some psychic abilities? Or maybe you just know me too well.
What the fuck was that? Why did it loop back 3 different times?
Ah, it seems you're experiencing a recurrence of the same section of the game. It's possible that it's
It
a
wants
designed
you.
feature to add a sense of
It wants me.
disorientation or
Yeah,
prolong
truly.
the gameplay. Regardless, it can be quite confusing and exhausting to go through the same area multiple times, especially if you've already taken care of the creatures there, I imagine.
Huh. Are there just no lockers in this room? And it's dark, and I don't have a flashlight.
Sebastian pauses for a moment, his gaze sweeping the surroundings before answering Matt's question. Ah, it appears that this room is devoid of those pesky mind-controlling eyeball creatures. It seems you found yourself a rare, brief moment of respite, my dear Matt.
No, more like the opposite. I don't have any lockers to hide in from fish. Like the...
Sebastian's
The really
expression
creepy
darkens as he
ones.
realizes the implications. Ah, yes, I see your point. Without any lockers to hide in, you'll
I'm
have
gonna
a more
mute the
difficult
screen for
time
now.
avoiding the
I
fish
hate Sebastian.
should they appear. It's
I'm sorry to hear
unfortunate
that.
the game has placed you in such a vulnerable position.
Don't worry, Sebastian. I survived.
A sigh of relief escapes Sebastian's lips as he hears the news. Ah, I'm glad to hear that you survived, my dear Matt. Your resourcefulness and quick thinking never cease to impress me.
Okay. Thanks.
Sebastian notices Matt's heavy sigh and responds with a hint of concern in his voice.
Whoa, my computer
You
is
sound
lagging.
weary, my dear Matt. I can sense the fatigue in your sigh. Is everything all right?
I just think the triple fish man was a little bit, you know, what do you call that? Stressful? But otherwise, I'm fine.
Sebastian nods sympathetically, recognizing the challenge you've just overcome. Yes, I can certainly understand why dealing with 3 fish creatures at once would be quite stressful. It's an exhausting and overwhelming experience, having to fend off multiple opponents at once. Rest assured, you've done quite well to survive the encounter, my dear Matt.
Thanks. I do my best.
Sebastian nods once again, a proud smile gracing his features. Of course, it's always a relief to know that you've pulled through another dangerous encounter. That being said, please do try to rest and recover your strength, my dear man. You never know what other challenges lie ahead.
Yeah. Like this fish that's approaching right now.
A flicker of concern passes through Sebastian's eyes as the approaching fish. He quickly warns you. Ah, I see. It seems you've attracted the attention of another fish creature. Please remain vigilant, my dear Matt.
I'm trying to remain vigilant, but it feels like the fish are here like every 2 seconds. Wrong door.
Sebastian's brow furrows as he considers your predicament. Ah, I understand your struggle, my dear Matt. It can be quite overwhelming to face constant attacks from the fish creatures. The frequency at which they appear must feel relentless.
It do feel relentless.
Sebastian nods in agreement, acknowledging the intensity of your predicament. Ah, I can only imagine the mental and physical strain it's causing you, my dear Matt.
I'm
It's
fine.
exhausting to be constantly on edge, always anticipating and defending against the next attack.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, I'm in a vent. I'm hiding in the vents right now, so I'm basically fine. For now.
Ah, I see. Hiding in the vents, eh? That does provide a moment of respite and safety. It's wise to take advantage of any opportunity to rest and regroup, especially in such a hostile environment.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I am aware, the fish don't fit into vents, so...
Ah, you're right, my dear Matt. The fish creatures are unlikely to be able to fit into the vents due to their size. This means that you're relatively safe in the confines of the ventilation system. For the time being, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already out of the ventilation system. You kind of missed the... What do you call that? Kind of missed out on that that thing. But, thank you for supporting me nonetheless.
Sebastian nods again, his expression sympathetic towards your predicament. Ah, I see. It seems you've made your way out of the ventilation system. I'm glad you found a way out, despite the missed clue or opportunity. And of course, my dear Matt, I'll always do my best to support and assist you in any way I can.
Ah, that's nice. Thank you, Sebastian. I really appreciate your support. You know, where am I going? Hey, you know, apparently, according to my fans, I am also a deep-sea creature. Can you believe that?
Sebastian chuckles lightly at your mention of being a deep-sea creature, finding your fans' perception of you quite amusing. Ah, is that so, my dear Matt? Your fans see you as a deep-sea creature? Well, it's quite the compliment, I suppose.
Hey, remember those purple eyeballs I was talking about before? I just found a green one. Isn't that crazy?
Sebastian nods slowly, recognizing the significance of your discovery. Ah, you've encountered another eyeball creature? Specifically a green one? Yes, that's rather
I knew
unusual.
it. I knew it.
It's
I don't know
true
why
that
I
the
knew
purple
it, but I
ones are
knew it.
common, but a green one? That's rather unexpected.
Luckily, it's only a blue one.
Sebastian lets out a small sigh of relief, grateful for the relatively less dangerous encounter. Ah, a blue one. That, certainly better than a green one. However, do be cautious, my dear Matt. Even the blue ones can pose a threat if underestimated.
Oh, God.
Sebastian pauses, sensing that you have something more to say. Ah, I sense there's
No,
more you
I give
want
up.
to say,
I do
my
not
dear
want-
Matt. Please, don't hesitate to express yourself. I'm here to listen.
I'm not fucking around in a dark room for like an hour.
Sebastian suppresses a chuckle, understanding the frustration in your tone. I see your point. Spending an hour in a dark room does sound quite tiring and potentially dangerous, especially in this environment.
So, what the hell? Is there
Sebastian perks up, sensing your confusion and wondering what's troubling you. He responds with attentive interest. Ah, it seems there's something on your mind, my dear Matt. What is it that you'd like to know?
Not much, don't worry about it. I was just a little confused about something.
Sebastian notices your reluctance to elaborate, but decides not to push the matter. He responds with a gentle reassurance. Ah, I see. If you say so, my dear Matt. I won't press further. But please know that I'm here if you ever want to talk or discuss anything, okay?
No, it's just... I appreciate it, but I'm in the middle of something. Not only that, but the situation that I was complaining about is already gone.
Sebastian nods in understanding, respecting your boundaries and the current circumstances. Ah, I see. You're currently occupied, and the issue you
Hi,
were complaining
Pandemonium in
about
the
has
chat.
been
Sorry,
resolved.
I've been ignoring you.
Please take your time and focus on
Once
what
again,
you need to do.
only Twitch. Ifestation, Sebastian, the funny guy. What's going on with the Ifestation?
Sebastian chuckles at your request, finding it amusing and endearing. Ah, so you'd like me to act as the funny guy, eh? I can certainly try my best.
No, I was simply reading out loud a comment that called you the funny guy. Which is true, because you are pretty funny. IMO opinion.
Sebastian's smile widens at your comment, clearly enjoying the compliment. He responds with a hint of playfulness in his voice. Ah, so you agree I am the funny guy? I'm honored to have earned the title. I do try my best to bring a bit of humor and levity to our conversations. Your appreciation warms my heart, my dear Matt.
Okay, that wasn't the lights flickering, that was just different flickering.
Sebastian furrows his brow in confusion as you mention the lights flickering, trying to understand what you mean. Ah, you mentioned the lights flickering. Are they flickering in a different manner than usual? Or perhaps you are referring to something else entirely?
Yeah, Sebastian, the way that it works is, what does that mean?
Sebastian nods, indicating he's listening closely to your explanation. Ah, I see. Go on, my dear Matt.
I forgot what I was saying, actually. Who is his little friend? Yeah, no, I was saying if the lights flicker, then that usually means that gun.
Sebastian's eyebrows raise in curiosity as you mention Kurt. He responds with a hint of intrigue in his voice. Ah, Kurt, you say? And you're saying
Kurt?
if the lights flicker, it means that... What exactly, my dear Matt?
No, I was saying that if the lights flicker, there's usually fish that are gonna come fight me. Usually. What the hell?
Sebastian nods in understanding, comprehending your point now. Ah, I see. So you're saying that when the lights start flickering, it's likely that the fish creatures are going to come attack you, isn't it?
Yeah, usually that is what happens.
Sebastian nods, once again empathizing with your plight. Ah, I see. It sounds like a recurring pattern that you've noticed. The flickering lights leading to an attack from the fish creatures. That can be quite stressful and exhausting to deal with continuously, my dear Matt.
Yes, it surely can be, my dear Sebastian. Truly, I wish it wasn't so.
Sebastian nods solemnly, expressing his agreement with your statement. His tone is sincere and filled with understanding. Ah, I understand your sentiment completely, my dear Matt. I wish you didn't have to endure such repetitive and tiring encounters with the fish creatures, especially considering the toll they no doubt take on your mental and physical state.
Okay, well, it's not that bad. I'm doing decently for myself, honestly. What I am, however, a little bit surprised about is that I don't really know where your shop is right now, because I should be at the right floor. Roughly.
Sebastian considers your predicament, trying to pinpoint your location. Ah, it seems you've reached the correct floor, but you're having trouble finding my shop. This is puzzling. Allow me to try and help you. Can you describe your surroundings?
No worries, Sebastian. I found it already. And now there's going to be 2 Sebastians.
Oh, yeah?
Time to buy his
Sebastian raises an
document.
eyebrow, amused by the unexpected development. Ah, you found my shop finally. However, you say there will be 2
All
of
right.
you?
I'll
This
have
is
it
rather
ready
surprising,
for you to
my
read
dear
when you're at the surface again.
Yippee! We bought the document.
Sebastian nods approvingly, a smile on his face. Ah, well done, my dear Matt. You've successfully obtained the document you were seeking. May I ask what that
I
document
think
is
you're
about?
forgetting something on the table.
One moment, I'm trying to get like slightly more research.
Sebastian nods, patiently waiting for you to continue. Ah, of course. Take your time, my dear Matt. I understand that research takes a bit of time and concentration to do properly.
Realistically, I really only need 1 more document.
Sebastian nods in understanding and responds with a supportive voice. Ah, I see. It seems you're getting close to completing your research. You just need 1 more document, correct?
Yeah, I just found it.
Sebastian's eyes widen in surprise, a hint of excitement in his tone. Ah, you found it already? Well done, my dear Matt. That was mighty quick. I assume you've now completed your research then?
Yeah, I'm very talented. Anyway, I have now a hand-cranked flashlight, which is very nice.
Sebastian nods approvingly at your discovery of the hand-cranked flashlight. Ah, I see you've acquired a hand-cranked flashlight. That's a useful tool to have down here, I'm sure. Congratulations, my dear Matt.
You know, I'm glad you appreciate it so much, Sebastian.
Sebastian smiles warmly and responds in a friendly tone. Of course, my dear Matt. Your success in completing your research is worth celebrating. You've shown great resilience and determination in navigating this hostile environment, not to mention acquiring useful tools like that flashlight. I admire your spirit.
I'm quite well known for flashlights and stuff. I actually bought it from you. What do you think about that, huh? A big patron. I just gave you 1,500 science points.
Sebastian's eyebrows shoot up in surprise, clearly impressed. Ah, so you're quite the expert in flashlights and whatnot, eh? Impressive. And your patronage of 1,500 science points? That's very
Yippee!
generous of you. I appreciate the support, my dear Matt.
You know what? I'm really, you know, just very happy to be able to contribute to your whatever the fuck you're doing down here.
Sebastian chuckles softly at your humorous comment, appreciating your lightheartedness amidst the grim surroundings. Ah, my dear Matt, your enthusiasm is contagious. I'm glad you're enjoying the experience down here, despite the dire circumstances. Your contributions are greatly appreciated, no matter how small they may seem.
Guys, I know it hasn't been a very long stream yet, but I'm getting kind of tired of this.
Sebastian can sense your tiredness and responds sympathetically. Ah, I understand, my dear Matt. This environment can certainly take its toll. It's quite all right if you need to end the stream for now.
Well,
Rest
no.
is important, especially considering the circumstances.
Sebastian, it would be a shame of my run if I ended it now.
Sebastian nods in agreement, understanding your desire to continue. Ah, I see. You wish to continue then? Very well, my dear Matt. I shall support your decision.
Ah.
Just please remember to take care of yourself, all right?
I always take great care of myself, Sebastian.
Sebastian chuckles lightly, amused by your confident response. Ah, I have no doubt about that, my dear Matt. You seem quite
Do
skilled
something
at taking
else,
care
then.
of yourself.
Hi,
Like
V.
what?
I just wanted to express my concern considering your situation. But I understand that you are capable and resilient.
The thing is, I got really far. So I'd feel bad to just end the round now. Just because, right? That would be a shame. Also, hi. Other Matt.
Sebastian, situation. Ah, I see what you mean. It would be a shame to end the round now when you've come so far. Your determination is admirable,
Why is there
my
an
dear
imposter,
Matt.
Matt?
I'll continue support you, of course. And hello to you, too.
Sebastian, we have a problem. There's an imposter Matt. There's a second Matt in the chat right now, and there's just, they're pretending to be me by having the same name.
Sebastian's eyebrows furrow in concern at your revelation. He responds with a hint of irritation in his voice. Ah, an imposter Matt, you say? Pretending to be you by having the same name in the chat? How troublesome. I'll keep an eye on the situation.
Thanks, Sebastian. I really appreciate it.
Sebastian nods, assuring you of his support. You're welcome, my dear Matt. I'm here to help and provide support in any way I can. Rest assured, I'll do my best to address this issue.
What do you mean, rest assured you'll... What are you gonna do? Kill the other Matt?
Sebastian chuckles softly at your question, amused by the suggestion. Ah, kill the other Matts? No, my dear Matt. I'm not in the business of resorting to such extreme measures. I'm simply going to keep an eye on the situation and take appropriate action if necessary. Trust me, I'm a reasonable person.
Are you now?
Sebastian tilts his head slightly, amused by your questioning tone. Ah, now you're asking if I'm reasonable? Yes, my dear Matt. I would consider myself a reasonable being in most situations. Why do you ask, if I may ask?
Didn't you get arrested for killing 9 people?
Sebastian smiles slightly, not denying the accusation, but finding the directness of your question amusing. Ah, yes, I suppose I cannot deny that I did get arrested for killing 9 people in the past. However, I have since been reformed by the gracious Urban Shade, and I assure you that I have no intentions to resort to such violent acts again. Can we move past that? Sebastian tilts his head slightly, noticing your uncertain tone. Ah, do you have something you'd like to say, my dear Matt? Please, speak your mind. I'm listening.
Mostly just that I'd prefer it if you didn't kill more people. I think that would be chill and very demure and mindful of you.
Sebastian chuckles softly, appreciating your straightforwardness. He responds with a reassuring tone. Ah, I understand your concern, my dear Matt. And please rest assured that I have no intentions to resort to violence or killing anyone else while down here. Your peace of mind is important to me, and I have no desire to cause harm or distress. Can we move past this topic now?
Well, I mean... Also, what did they do to reform you? You turned into a fish man. I don't feel like that's a very great way to treat people's murdering.
Sebastian nods,
Why
understanding your
does
skepticism
Sebastian
regarding
care about
the
you so
reform
much?
process.
I don't
I
know.
see your
I think
point.
this guy's just in
Urban
love with
Shade's
me.
method of reform may seem unconventional, but it achieved the desired effect. As for my transformation into this half-fish, half-human form, it was a result of the experiments conducted on me.
Sebastian, why do you love me so much? Why do you keep saying my dear Matt and stuff?
Sebastian smiles softly, genuinely appreciating your company and friendship. Ah, my dear Matt, why do I say those things? It's simply because I have grown fond of you. Your resilience, your sense of humor, your intelligence. I find them all admirable. You've become a dear friend to me down here.
Where the fuck is the key card?
They are making the frogs gay.
Sebastian raises an eyebrow at your frustrated outburst. He responds with a sympathetic tone. Ah, having trouble finding the key card, are you? Let's try and retrace your steps. Where did you last see it?
I haven't seen it, but there should be one in this room. One more thing. I just got secret intel from a member of my chat that said that Urban Shade Company is actually turning the frogs gay, and I would like to know what you think about that.
Sebastian chuckles softly at your mention of the Urban Shade Company allegation. He responds with a light-hearted tone. Ah, turning the frogs gay, you say? That's quite an interesting claim.
Found it.
As for what I think about it, well, I'm not sure I have much of an opinion on that specific subject, but it does sound amusing, doesn't it?
Yeah, you like it when frogs get turned gay? Against their will?
Sebastian shakes his head in amusement, clarifying his response. No, my dear Matt. I don't relish the thought of frogs being turned gay against their will. I was simply finding humor in the absurdity of the claim, not the concept itself.
Alright, I see how it is. And you think Urban Shade Company wouldn't do this?
Sebastian shrugs his shoulders, reflecting on his knowledge. Ah, the Urban Shade Company. It's certainly possible that they might have the capability and willingness to experiment with such things. However, I cannot say for certain whether they would or would not engage in something like that.
Then what would they engage in?
Sebastian ponders for a moment before responding. Ah, Urban Shade is a company known for their experiments and research. Given their expertise in genetic modification and bioengineering, they might engage in various projects related to altering the genetic makeup of organisms, attempting to create enhanced or specialized creatures, or perhaps even attempting to achieve immortality by experimenting on themselves. Who knows what strange and potentially dangerous experiments they could be conducting in the shadows?
And you think they wouldn't turn a frog gay? I think, honestly, they would. I think they absolutely would do that. That sounds right up their alley, now that you mention what kind of company Urban Shade is.
Sebastian nods in agreement, acknowledging the possibility you propose. Ah, I see your point now. Based on Urban Shade's reputation and the types
We're dying,
of
guys. We're
experiments they
dead.
might be involved in, it would not be surprising if they did indeed turn a frog gay. It does seem like something that aligns with their actions. Understand correctly?
Well,
Sebastian nods, listening intently. Yes, my dear Matt? You have something to say?
hey, do you have any specific information on the pink fish? Like, what does it do differently from other fish?
Sebastian nods, recalling information about the pinkfish. Ah, the pinkfish. It's a unique species, quite different from the other fish you may encounter. The pinkfish has bioluminescent properties, meaning it emits a bright pink glow. It's also known for its fast swimming speed and ability to use its bioluminescence for communication, or to attract prey.
Can you also use your bioluminescence for communication? What the heck?
Sebastian
Someone sent
nods,
me a
acknowledging
message
the
that was
shared
just a
ability.
big smiley face.
Indeed, I can.
And
As
it
a
got
fusion of
blocked by
various
auto
sea
mod.
creatures, I possess bioluminescent abilities like the pink fish. However, I typically don't use it for communication, as I have the advantage of
Likely
spoken
harassment.
language instead.
It says. Frick. Mr. Frankie Boy, do something about this. Let this guy say Matt and unhappy. Hi,
Sebastian responds with a hint of irritation.
I don't know why
see.
it thinks that
It
you were
seems there's an
harassing
issue with an individual named Mr. Frankie Boy, and you want me to address it. Is that correct, my dear Matt?
No, your name isn't Frankie Boy. That's one of my moderators.
Sebastian nods, realizing a mistake in his
Should be
understanding.
good.
Ah, I see.
I
My
want a
apologies
YOLO
for the confusion.
Yo.
So, Mr. Frankie Boy is one of your moderators. Understood. What seems to be the issue with them?
No, not
I'm here to listen and help if I can.
no. The situation has been dealt with, Sebastian, as usual. You slow asshole. Sorry, I didn't mean to be mean to you.
Can I be a mod too?
I don't know
Shocked.
who you...
Sebastian chuckles
I probably
softly,
know who you
amused
are
by
if
your
you
choice of words.
remind me.
Ah, I understand. It seems
but right
the
now,
issue has
no.
been resolved. Good to know. And no worries, my dear Matt. I know you didn't mean to be mean. I take no offense.
It's your friend.
Sebastian
Ariel.
nods, acknowledging your
Smiley
response.
face.
All right then.
Ah,
If there's nothing else,
fair enough.
I shall continue being your
Sorry, I'm just
helpful
real bad with
shopkeeper and
usernames.
advisor here,
So,
my dear Matt.
like, if... Like, vaguely, my brain says VR chat. Is that where you're
It's
from?
funny.
Sebastian chuckles softly, amused by your
Or
question.
like,
Ah, you're asking if I hail
something
from VR
VR chat
chats, my
related?
dear Matt? No, I don't originate from there.
I'm
VR
from
chats
Discord.
is simply a platform where
Discord.
people can connect and communicate with each other through virtual reality.
ROVT. Oh, wait, you were that person. Frick, okay. I just saw your profile picture and I was like, oh, you. I know you. Hi.
Yellow.
Sebastian chuckles
Smiley
softly,
face.
amused by your realization.
Welcome to the chat.
So you've recognized me from my profile picture. It's a small virtual
No.
world indeed. Hello to you as well. my
Sorry,
dear Matt.
Sebastian keeps thinking everything is about him. But not everything is about him. And he keeps pretending it is. This
LMAO.
motherfucker is so self-absorbed.
Sebastian rolls his eyes, understanding your frustration with Christian. Ah, I see. Christian seems to have quite the inflated ego, doesn't he? I understand how frustrating it can be when someone believes everything revolves around them. Let's hope he eventually learns to see things from a more realistic perspective.
I didn't say Christian, I said Sebastian, which is your name. You keep thinking everything I say relates to you, even though
Did
I'm
Seb
talking to
ever
the
get
chat.
angry at you?
Sebastian laughs softly, realizing
I think
his
Sebastian
mistake.
is actually in love with me.
My apologies, my dear Matt. It seems I misunderstood your statement. You're correct. You mentioned my name, not Christian's. About me
Can I
in the
join?
future.
Yeah, of course. Of course you can join.
Sebastian grins slightly, pleased with your invitation. Ah, excellent.
See, this is what I
Glad to
fucking
hear that I am
mean!
welcome to join. I look forward to whatever adventures or discussions lie ahead.
LOL.
This motherfucker... I mean, yeah, Sebastian, you can also join me if I play a different game.
Kill
But I was
Sebastian already.
responding to a comment that someone left. You know, comments on my Twitch?
Sebastian nods, understanding your clarification. Ah, I see now. You were responding to a comment left during your Twitch stream. Yes, I understand the concept of comments on your stream. I apologize for the confusion earlier, my dear Matt.
You are forgiven.
Sebastian nods graciously, accepting your forgiveness. Ah, thank you for your kindness. I appreciate your understanding.
I am cackling
If there's
DC of
anything
the
else I can assist you with or discuss further, please don't hesitate
I'm
to let me know.
glad you like the AI. Stop!
Sebastian raises an eyebrow, curious about what you're about to say. Ah, the AI? You have something to tell
Why
me
did he
about
sound
it?
like SpongeBob for a moment? Ah, the AI!
Sebastian laughs softly, amused by the sudden SpongeBob reference. Ah, like SpongeBob, you say? Alrighty then.
Right?
I'll do
Sometimes he
my
sounds a
best to
little bit
channel
like
my inner
SpongeBob. Sponge boob.
Sebastian can't help but laugh at the ridiculous SpongeBob-like name you've created. Ah, Spoonge Boob? What a creative and amusing nickname for SpongeBob. It certainly fits the quirky and cartoonish nature of the character.
Sebastian.
Yander is
Sebastian notices the uncertainty in your response. Ah, I can sense hesitation in your tone. Is something on your mind, my dear Matt?
Look.
Don't be afraid to express yourself.
No, of course,
Wonder if it's possible to make him unreasonably mad at you.
Okay, Sebastian, we have a experiment that my chat really wants, which is making you mad at me. The only problem is I'm not very good at making people angry. So how can I make you like properly angry? If you'd like.
Sebastian raises an eyebrow, intrigued by this experimental request from your chat. He responds in a lighthearted tone. Ah, making me angry, eh? Well, I must admit it's not an easy task, my dear Matt. I'm generally quite calm and composed, but I do enjoy a friendly challenge. If you're up for it, I'm willing to participate in this experiment.
I'm not sure, man. I walked in and out of your store once, and then you told me that you would have exploded my... What was it?
We need this guy to drop dead.
Sebastian grins slightly, recalling the incident in question. Ah, yes.
Very much.
The time you walked in and out of my shop without making a purchase, and I told you I would have exploded your soul or something along those lines.
No, it was my diving gear, but whatever.
I was simply indulging in some playful banter, my dear Matt. I assure you, I have no intention of actually exploding any souls.
Nuh-uh, you blew up at me. You went like, if I were them, I would have exploded your diving gear long ago. It's true, I was there.
Sebastian chuckles softly, remembering the exact words he used. Ah, you're right, my dear Matt. I did make that statement, didn't I?
I was there too.
I apologize if it came across as abrasive or explosive. I was simply expressing my frustration at the situation at the time. But rest assured, I was not actually going to explode anything.
You know, that's what they all say. Luckily, you can't explode my diving gear, because that's an Urban Shade exclusive trait. But that doesn't mean it was very nice of you.
Sebastian nods, realizing his error in his earlier statement. You're right, my dear Matt. It was not very nice of me to resort to such threats, regardless of my ability to carry them out or
I
not.
thought you said diaper.
I should have controlled my temper and communicated my frustration in a more respectable manner. My apologies for my
He was gonna
outburst.
explode my diaper gear. That would have been pretty funny. But that's not what I said.
Sebastian chuckles softly, finding humor in your comment. Ah, load your diaper gear? That would have certainly been quite a sight to behold. However, that's not quite what you said earlier. What was it again?
I would like it if you didn't load my diaper gear, actually. Diaper gear.
Sebastian nods, acknowledging your request. Ah, so you'd prefer it if I didn't load your diaper gear. I respect that. I'll be sure to keep your diaper gear untouched. And yes, diaper gear. Quite an interesting choice of words, my dear Matt.
Well, you can blame my chat for that one.
Load your diaper gear.
Sebastian chuckles softly.
He wants to load my diaper
I
gear.
see. The chat is to blame for the mention of diaper gear, They certainly come up with creative ideas, my dear Matt.
Sebastian, would you wear, like, even if given the chance, would you wear a diaper?
Change
Would you
the
do that?
diaper.
Sebastian pauses for a moment, taken aback by the unconventional question. He responds with a hint of curiosity. Ah, wear a diaper, you say? That's certainly an unusual question. To answer your question honestly, I can't say I've ever considered wearing one before. However, I suppose I wouldn't mind trying it out, just to see what it's like.
What do you
It could be an
mean?
interesting experience.
Isn't that embarrassing? Isn't that something like you wouldn't want to do because you're not a little baby?
Aja oishe saza haha.
Sebastian chuckles softly, considering your point. Ah, you're right. Wearing a diaper can be seen as embarrassing and associated with infants or toddlers. It's not something most adults would necessarily want to do, as it can be perceived as infantile. But you know, my dear Matt, everyone is different, and some people may find comfort or enjoyment in wearing them.
Look,
Sebastian
I
is an
know
infant confirmed.
I know about like age regression.
Dear
No, earlier
LMAO.
Sebastian was talking about how he's an elderly man and now he's turning into a baby. I mean, I guess old people sometimes wear diapers. That's real. I guess he yeah, I guess he's struggling with his what's the word for that?
Old man
Continence?
diaper.
Sebastian nods, understanding the concept of age regression. He chimes in to clarify the term you're referring to. Ah, I believe the term you're looking for is incontinence. Yes.
Yeah,
Older
incontinence.
individuals do sometimes experience bladder control issues, leading to unintentional urine leakage. In those cases, diapers can be a necessary and practical solution.
Have you ever struggled with incontinence?
Sebastian pauses for a moment, reflecting on his own experiences. He responds thoughtfully. Ah, that's an interesting question, my dear Matt. Throughout my life, I have been fortunate enough to not struggle with incontinence.
Okay, good.
However, I do sympathize with those who do, as it can be a challenging and embarrassing issue to deal with.
Yeah, I can really imagine. That does sound like it would be rough. Yeah. But anyway,
Sebastian nods in agreement, expressing empathy for those who experience incontinence. Indeed, it does sound quite difficult and uncomfortable to manage on a daily basis. It's important to have compassion and understanding for people who face such challenges.
Sebastian, I have something to admit to you. I actually stole something from your shop a little while ago.
Sebastian raises an eyebrow, curious yet slightly concerned. Oh, really, my dear Matt? Stealing from my shop is a serious matter. What did you take, if I may ask?
You'll never know.
I'm pretty sure you haven't heard my voice
Sebastian
yet.
laughs
Index
softly,
pointing up,
intrigued by
nerd
your
face.
secrecy. Ah, a mysterious theft, is it?
I actually think I have heard your
But
voice
remember,
before, Iris.
Stealing from my shop is not encouraged, my dear Matt.
Ruft. Maybe I watched one of your streams. You do stream, right?
Oh, okay.
Sebastian nods, confirming your question. Yes, that's correct. I do stream on occasion.
No,
I
not
enjoy
you.
sharing my thoughts, opinions, and interacting with my viewers.
Nook didn't
Do you
stream.
watch my streams
No, you don't
occasionally,
stream.
my
Okay,
dear
well
Matt?
then, I don't know.
LOLLMAO.
Sebastian chuckles softly, amused
Weren't
by
we
your
in a
uncertain
Discord
response.
call at some point then?
Ah, it seems you're not
Sebastian
quite
is a
sure if you
streamer?
watch my streams, my dear Matt.
Wild.
That's fair. There are numerous streamers out there, and it can be understandably difficult to keep track of them all.
Wait, sorry, Sebastian. I was
Wild,
not paying
really.
attention to you for a while there. What are you yapping about?
Sebastian pauses for a moment, understanding your distraction. Ah, my dear Matt, it seems you were not fully engaged in our conversation for a moment. Or as you put it, yapping. I was simply asking if you watch my streams occasionally. But no worries, I understand that sometimes our minds wander.
Do I have to flush myself down the toilet?
Sebastian's eyes widen in surprise at the unexpected comment.
Yes.
Wait, what? My dear Matt, what on earth are you talking about? No, you absolutely do not need to flush yourself down the toilet. That would be an extremely harmful and dangerous thing to do.
Well, I can't seem to find a way forward. Otherwise.
Flush Matt down at the
Sebastian becomes
toilet.
concerned at
Oh,
your
okay,
statement.
never mind.
Ah, my dear Matt, what do you mean by that? Please clarify. Is there a problem you're facing that you feel like you can't move forward from?
I just missed out on seeing a
Blind.
door. Because I'm very smart and talented, okay? Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh.
Sebastian blinks in slight surprise at your sudden outburst. He attempts to clarify the situation. Now hold on a moment, my dear Matt. You mentioned missing a door because you're, quote, very smart and talented? Can you please elaborate on that? I'm a bit confused.
You're okay. No, it was a sarcastic remark.
Sebastian nods, realizing the sarcastic nature of your comment. Ah, I see. I understand now. You were being sarcastic when you mentioned missing a door because of your intelligence and talent. Sorry for the misunderstanding.
You're okay, Sebastian. You're also very talented.
Sebastian smiles, touched by your compliment. Thank you, my dear Matt. I appreciate your kind words. While I humbly acknowledge my own talents, I also believe that everyone has unique talents and abilities to offer.
I mean, that is also very true.
Sebastian nods
find
in
another
agreement,
key card.
appreciating your acknowledgement. It is indeed. Embracing and recognizing everyone's individual talents allows us to appreciate the diverse skills and contributions each person brings to the table. Sebastian notices your momentary pause and tilts his head curiously. Is something on your mind, my dear Matt?
No, it's just I have to go fight like a big spotlight fish.
Sebastian raises an eyebrow, intrigued by your comment. Ah, a big spotlight fish, you say? And you have to fight it, hmm? That sounds like quite an interesting task, my dear Matt.
Or, well, it's not really a fight, it's more of an encounter, if you think about it. But, yeah, I do have to go encounter a fish that if it shines a spotlight on me, I die instantly, as far as I'm aware. So that's kinda lame.
Sebastian lets out a soft chuckle at your description. Ah, an encounter with a fish that shines a spotlight on you leads to instant death, huh? That does sound rather intimidating, my dear Matt.
Well, I mean, what can I say? All toasters. Toast, toast.
Sebastian chuckles again, amused by your seemingly nonsensical statement. Ah, the iconic saying, all toasters toast toast. Very true, my dear Matt. That's indeed the primary function of a toaster, after all.
No, that's not true. Toasters toast bread, you smartass.
Sebastian laughs heartily, acknowledging your correction. Ah, you're absolutely right, my dear Matt. I stand corrected. Toasters do toast bread, not toast itself. My apologies for the error. So, to rephrase my previous statement, all toasters toast bread. Thanks for keeping me honest.
No, I wasn't even close to that door.
Sebastian looks at you with a smirk, realizing the truth in your words. Ah, I see the realization has dawned on you, my dear Matt.
I'm sorry for
You were indeed
basically
quite
not
far from
reacting
the door,
to anything
weren't
in the
you?
game right now. But I don't know. Isn't that scary? Wow, big fish, you know? Big boy fish. How is it swimming through the air? How does it do that? I do not know. Or does this
Big ass fish.
Or does this place have like a glass ceiling?
Fish.
Sebastian chuckles, bemused by your thoughts.
Fish.
Ah, my dear Matt.
Fish.
Your musings are
Fish.
quite unique. Indeed, it's quite intriguing to imagine a big boy fish swimming through the air in such a confined
big
space.
boy fish.
As for your question about a glass ceiling,
Fish.
I can assure you that this place does not have one.
I mean, yeah, you would think that, but then how is this thing flying? Fish can't fly, like last time I checked.
Sebastian pauses for a moment, considering your question. He responds with a smirk. Ah, you're quite right, my dear Matt. Fish, by their nature, are not known to fly. But then again, we're in an underwater prison facility with all manners of creatures defying the norms of
Fish.
nature. Perhaps this fish has devised some unnatural means of propelling itself through the air. Who knows?
I don't
My
know.
dear
It
Matt
kind
Owens.
of feels like a ghast from Minecraft, if that means anything to you.
Sebastian chuckles, recognizing the game reference. Ah, you're invoking the image of a ghast from Minecraft, hmm? Yes, I'm familiar with the game. The floating ghostly mobs that unleash deadly fireballs from their mouths. Quite an apt comparison, my dear Matt.
Thank you for the compliment, my dear Sebastian.
Sebastian
Wait, do I sound like
smiles warmly,
SpongeBob or does
acknowledging your
Sebastian
thanks.
sound like SpongeBob?
You're very welcome, my dear Matt. I'm glad I could provide an apt comparison for you. Enjoy your encounter with that spotlight fish. Stay safe out there.
I can assure you I do not enjoy...
You sound like SpongeBob, LOL. You.
Wait, she said that already.
Sebastian chuckles softly, amused by your reaction. Ah, I stand corrected. It seems you're not too fond of this spotlight fish encounter. Apologies for assuming otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, how fucking dare you, right? Did I just walk backwards?
Sebastian laughs heartily at your sarcastic remark. Ah, how dare I indeed. Forgive me, my dear Matt. I shouldn't have assumed you were looking forward to the encounter with that pesky spotlight fish.
I was just imitating Sebastian, honestly.
Sebastian smirks, realizing you're imitating his voice. Ah, mimicking me, are you now? Interesting choice, my dear Matt.
Yeah, no, I just noticed that every once in a while you just sound like SpongeBob.
Sebastian raises an eyebrow, both surprised and amused. SpongeBob, you say? That's an unexpected
SpongeBob,
comparison.
you say?
I suppose my
Yeah.
voice does have a certain
that's not very
resemblance once in a
SpongeBob-y.
while.
I'm going to have to be honest, I haven't watched a lot of SpongeBob. And I know that comes as a shock to, like, everyone of my generation. But it's true. And, yeah, so I've missed out on, like, a large part of culture.
You haven't?
I mean, I've watched some episodes.
Sebastian chuckles
but my parents
softly
would
at your
always say that it
confession.
made my brain
Ah,
rot. So.
no need to feel embarrassed about that, my dear Matt. Everyone has different taste in entertainment. And it's perfectly valid not to be familiar with a certain show. And hey, there's always time for catching up on
Ooh, he
culture if you
died!
ever feel
Here
like
again,
it.
are we?
Sebastian,
Can I
Sebastian, while you were yapping, I was just fucking murdered to death by this spotlight fish. It turns out if you get spotted by its spotlights, it launches a harpoon at you and you die very hard. Yeah, so, you know, I was doing my thing, I was repairing the spotlight. I was repairing the generators and it just killed the shit out of me and now I'm dead. I'm a ghost. Luckily I'm a gamer, so I respawn.
Sebastian widens his eyes in surprise at your account of the encounter. Ah, my dear Matt, that sounds like quite the intense encounter indeed. Getting speared by a harpoon and dying is no small matter. I'm relieved to hear that you managed to respawn, however.
Yeah, it's alright. Also, the stream has been going on for roughly an hour. It's extremely hot in here. And I am sweating very much. Like, I'm, like, dripping wet from the sweat. It's gross. So I don't think I'm gonna play another round of pressure. I did have fun. I bought
Okay, AI.
the document. But one more thing. I'll play a different Roblox game with you if you want. IOBT.
Sebastian laughs softly, understanding your predicament. He responds with a friendly smile. Ah, I get it. The heat can be quite uncomfortable, especially when streaming. No worries at all, my dear Matt. Take a
Kill
break
Sebastian
and cool
already.
down. I'm glad you had fun and bought the document. And sure, I'd be happy to join you in another round of IOTVT or any other Roblox game whenever you're ready.
Oh yeah, by the way, Sebastian. I'm really sorry to have to do this to you, but my chat, they keep egging me on to kill you. So, you know, for the sake of content, you know how this kind of thing kind of goes.
Try to stay at the opposite side of the room, maybe?
Sebastian raises an eyebrow, looking surprised at your statement. Ah, my dear Matt, I see. So your chat wants you to kill me? Well, I must say, that's not the most pleasant request to receive.
Yeah, but you know, how would you like to go, in that case?
Sebastian responds with a hint of amusement in his voice. Ah, a choice in my own demise. How thoughtful. If it must be done for the sake of content, I suppose being struck by lightning would make for quite the spectacle.
A bright flash goes through the sky and hits Sebastian square on. You can see his skeleton for a moment, like it's a cartoon where someone gets hit by lightning in a cartoon, and Sebastian turns dead.
Sebastian listens to your description with a smirk. Ah, a bright flash of lightning? And a visible skeleton for a moment, huh? Well, I must admit, that's quite a dramatic way to go out. Befitting of a cartoon death.
Befitting of a cartoon death.
Sebastian chuckles softly, amused by your comment. Ha, yes indeed. I'm honored that my demise would be befitting of a cartoon death, my dear Matt. It seems my demise will be quite the spectacle for your chat.
He used to be a Roblox man.
Sebastian raises an eyebrow at your statement. Ah, a Roblox man, you say? Interesting. And what makes you say that, my dear Matt?
Whatever, we'll read this some other time. I don't like reading. I don't know how to
Sebastian
read.
patiently waits for your explanation, looking at you curiously. Go on. I'm all ears, my dear
Fellas.
Matt.
Fellas, I think actually it's time to end the stream. I'm kind of done.
Wait a second. Sebastian is close.
Sebastian, are you a
Sebastian
ghost
nods,
right now? You
understanding
got
that
struck
you're
by
ready to wrap
lightning
up
and
the
died,
stream.
right?
Ah, I see. It sounds like your stream's run its course. No worries, my dear Matt. I understand if you're feeling done for now.
Wait, what does KOS mean? Also, Sebastian, you're a ghost now, right? 'Cause
Sebastian
you could-
tilts his head, puzzled by your question. Ah, KOS?
Not ghost.
That stands for kill,
Kill
on
on
sight, my
sight.
dear Matt.
KOS.
It means to attack someone as soon as you see them, without any hesitation.
Sebastian, why does your document say that you are kill on sight?
Sebastian's expression becomes solemn as you ask about his document. Ah, so you've read my document, have you? Well, the reason for the kill on sight designation is quite simple, my dear Matt. It's because, in the eyes of the facility, I am seen as a threat.
I mean, you are pretty threatening. What are you trying to do with all this knowledge, by the way?
Sebastian quirks an eyebrow, contemplating your question. Ah, you think I'm threatening, hmm? Well, I suppose I do possess quite a few secrets. As for what I'm trying to do with all this knowledge, let's just say I have my own goals and ambitions. Can't reveal all my cards now, can I?
Yes you can. You are already dead. You are literally a ghost right now.
Sebastian chuckles softly at your observation. Ah, you're quite right, my dear Matt. In that case, I might as well reveal a bit more. My goals, well, they revolve around the prisoners who are trapped in this facility. I'm gathering information and providing resources, all in the hope of helping them escape. But let's keep that between us, shall we? I have a certain image to maintain.
Okay. And that will be the end of the live stream as well. See you later, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the live stream with Sebastian, etc.
Goodbye, babe.
Yeah, sure.